So I just, again, I'm always confused by people. I talk to people. I mean, my friend went to Thanksgiving with his family. The husband and the wife are there. They make decent money. They do not own anything in New York City. They live in Brooklyn. They rent. It's fine. It's not great. They're not thrilled. They have money, but they're not over the top money. The wife is screaming and yelling about how could anyone think immigration is any type of problem. Again, you know, I can't tell anyone how to feel about anything. It's not why I exist. It's not what I'm trying to do. But it's just logical to me that if you look around at a country that isn't thriving and it isn't doing great, and this pathology, it seems like a pathology that I first encountered, you know, I've encountered it many times, but when I was sitting there with my aunt and she said, well, if you get rid of immigration, who's going to be your doctor? And I went, what? And she goes, well, my doctor's from Pakistan. And I go, why aren't we training people in America to be doctors? And she said, well, I was a teacher and nobody wants to do their homework. Pakistan's kind of a profoundly dysfunctional culture. Like, we would look at it from the Western standpoint. People have less rights, kind of corrupt. I'm not shitting on Pakistan. I'm sure there's a lot of things in Pakistan that are great. But, you know, it was the butt of a lot of jokes for many, many years. Pakistan, I'll go live in Pakistan. The idea that we're sourcing our doctors from Pakistan and not America is crazy. And the idea that you don't think that's any kind of problem feels like a pathology to me. I don't know what it is. It's white guilt on a crazy level. The idea that you could just sit there and go, we should be bringing in Chinese, Indian, Pakistani people to do our engineering jobs and fuck people that live in rural Pennsylvania. Let them go die on fentanyl. We don't care about those people. The idea that, and it's Elon Musk doing it, by the way. It's a lot of the tech people, you know, and then he's do anything. He could let you say the N-word on Twitter or whatever. But I'm sure you'd rather healthcare and you'd rather your kids maybe have a job at one of his fucking factories. So I just don't understand why Americans at one point were convinced that they didn't have any type of claim on their country, on the jobs, on a share of the economic pie, and that all of that made them some type of racist or ethnocentrist or somebody that would is the goal here that Americans should compete with the entire world for jobs? Is that the point? Is the point that Americans should compete with people from all over the world for jobs in their own country? That's one of the most psychotic things I've ever heard. And it would only make sense if you were part of the asset-owning class that owned all of the things that are serviced by people that you are paying a lot less money to. You might like a maid from Venezuela because she can't understand the phone call you had when you're cheating on your wife. And you pay her a lot less money. And she's not going to sue you. And you might want people to work in a factory who are undocumented because they don't have any rights. And you could pay them a lot less money. And you might want to bring in Indians and Chinese over. And again, this is not saying anything bad about Venezuelans or Indians or Chinese people, but you might want to bring Indians and Chinese people over if those people had a lot less bargaining power and were very happy to be here and would work long hours and would be thrilled. And then while they're here, some of them inevitably, especially a lot of the Chinese students, will engage and the workers in some form of corporate espionage. It'll all go back to China. And this leaves that every middle income person that people supposedly care about, this idea of like the guy with the wife and the kid who supposedly is the focal point of every policy, is not at all who these people think about at all. They don't even pretend to. They only get worked up if Somalis are being unfairly maligned for a fraud scheme. And I'm not saying that every Somali is guilty of the fraud, obviously. But people don't get angry about anything unless they feel like some group that needs to be protected is suffering. But they don't seem to give a shit about anything else. There's no rage at the lack of health care, the retirement, the schooling, the crime. You don't see that. The condition of the cities, the fentanyl on the streets that's killing people ODing. You're walking your kids to school, they're dying on the street. There doesn't seem to be rage about that. There's rage that Donald Trump said some things that were unkind about the Somali community, which, by the way, here's the deal. He said a lot of unkind things about a lot of people. Who cares? I don't think it's a big deal at this point. He's a little uncouth. I think what's more of a big deal is the fact that, like, we're being fed into a shredder, quite obviously, by very wealthy, powerful people. And nobody can say to ourselves, wait a minute, we have to be a country. Doesn't mean we're a white country. Doesn't mean we're all Christian. Doesn't mean that we're all, whatever. But it does mean that citizens in America need some claim to their country. They need to understand that they are going to get some type of care, and that when you show up and you've been in a place for a few years and you engage in a Medicare fraud scheme and you see that there's hundreds of millions of dollars missing, people are going to react to that. And people are going to question whether it's a good idea that you're here, or whether your values culturally align with the values of the United States. I don't know what the average Somali believes. I imagine it's somewhat different from the average lesbian art teacher in Vermont. It's a guess. I'm just guessing. But apparently that's all supposed to work out. That's all going to be great. And nobody should question any of that, by the way. And it's all working out very well in London. You can see how well it's working out. You can see how well it's working out all over Europe. And this idea that if you mention this at all, if you bring this up, if you want to engage with this, you're a Nazi, a racist, you're a psychopath, I'm telling you right now, it will make people those things. It will make them actual Nazis. It will make them actual racists. It will make them actual psychopaths who are paranoid and on the internet. So at the end of the day, if you want that, you will keep doing the things you do. It became obvious when the gender madness was being pushed in schools that there was going to be a backlash. And if you were a gay person who spoke out, which I did, by the way, a lot, and said 7-year-olds choosing their gender is psychotic. And this is going to ruin people's lives, and it's going to cause a massive blowback against gay people, lesbians, and trans people, trans adults, trans whoever, anybody, children. I was right. All my friends in Hollywood were wrong. Okay? When I told people flooding the country with low-wage workers and the H-1B, you have people coming in here going to college. Americans can't go to college, and they're getting jobs at law firms and tech firms, and our own people are starving on the street. That's going to radicalize people. I was right. My friends were wrong. This is, you can see this coming from miles and miles away. Pam Bondi is now compiling a list of extremists. That's good news, huh? The target is those expressing opposition to law and immigration enforcement, extreme views in favor of mass migration and open borders, adherence to radical gender ideology, as well as anti-Americanism, anti-capitalism, and anti-Christianity. All of these things, by the way, can mean a million things. By the way. I guarantee you. You criticize Israel, you'll be in that bucket. You criticize the administration too heavily, you'll be in that bucket. I wonder, wait till the tech people grab a hold of that. All of this stuff. Anytime the FBI is making a list of, and by the way, you're allowed to not like ICE. I don't think you should be attacking federal employees violently. You're allowed to not like anything. It's America. So anytime the feds are making a list of anyone celebrating the feds making a list, it's coming back. It's going to come back to bite you. All the things I just talked about, it's coming back. It's going to come back to bite you, obviously. And that's why, it's like incumbent upon people to defend people they disagree with from time to time, because we should never really be selling each other out to the feds. It's rat shit, So it's going to be interesting to see, again, what went on with this. I don't know why the Somalis took the money from the Pancake House. I don't have enough information. Maybe they didn't. It seems like they did. It seems like something went on. By the way, they wouldn't be the first. They're not going to be the last.